The Chicago Bulls have been playing summer league basketball, and once Josh Giddey got into Las Vegas, we speculated that hey, there's a potential that the Chicago Bulls and Josh Giddey, both of those sides, could be potentially working on a deal. But it's seeming like right now the deal and the talks is not trending in the right direction for my man's Josh Giddey and the Chicago Bulls. Y'all know we gonna talk about it, break it all down, but you gotta hear the music first.
Cognac gang.
Shot Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down on another daily episode. So if you're tuned in, locked in, and ready to talk Bulls basketball, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And a big shout out to y'all out there in Bulls Nation for supporting us. We appreciate it. But let's talk about this, man. A couple days ago, before we even had the first game of watching Noah Essige and Montes Buzelis take the floor in Summer League, me and C Dub had a little bit of speculation that hey, Josh Giddey might be in Las Vegas so he can get a face-to-face conversation with some of those top people in the Bulls front office, like Arturas Karnisova and my man's Mark Eversley. And that was some type of speculation and some discussions that could be taking place to where both sides could be coming to an agreement to where hey, we can finally get this thing done and everybody can move on and we could just let the kids out there in summer league go out there and play damn basketball. But as of right now, they ain't been seeing too much of Josh Giddey around the other players of the Chicago Bulls when the Chicago Bulls players are out there supporting the young guys that are trying to make a name for themselves or having themselves a good introduction into the NBA. Josh Giddey ain't been present, really. So, hey, there's now some speculation that talks are not going in the right direction. My man's Jake Fisher pretty much said this. Josh Giddey is in Las Vegas, but has noticeably been absent from the Chicago Bulls games at Summer League. Several veterans just sat courtside here. Certainly seemed like an indication that negotiations between the point guard and Chicago are not trending in an amicable direction. And yeah, that's what it really seems like to me. And then there was a couple Bulls fans out there questioning, you know, what is going to take place here. What are some important dates that we should be keeping our minds on when it comes to these contract negotiations, when it comes down to Josh Giddey? And my man's Bobby Marks just came out with a tweet last night and pretty much said, hey, July 13th is the last day a team is allowed to pull the qualifying offer. We haven't heard anything regarding the Chicago Bulls pulling that offer, but he also dropped another date saying October 1st is the last day to sign a qualifying offer. My man's Jamal from Bull Central asked Bobby Marks what happens if the October 1st deadline passes and the restricted free agent doesn't sign a qualifying offer and the team/player still hasn't come to an agreement on that extension. It pretty much says that now the team in that type of situation can go out there and offer any type of deal to that said player. But all in all, if that player still doesn't resign, Josh Giddey can be a restricted free agent in 2026. So we hoping that both of these sides can finally just get something done. I don't know if Josh Giddey wants to go out there and say, hey, I'm gonna bank on myself. I'm gonna play for the $11 million, and we just gonna go from there. Because if we're comparing some of the other things that have transpired with the Chicago Bulls qualifying offer, his qualifying offer is much more than Jonathan Kuminga, Quentin Grimes, and Cam Thomas. He's at $11 million, while guys like Jonathan Kuminga, Quentin Grimes, and Cam Thomas are at about $11 million. Well, Cam Thomas is at $6 million, so you know he ain't taking that one. But my man's Jonathan Kuminga and Quentin Grimes, they're sitting at around $8 million. So Josh Giddey, though he has a higher qualifying offer than some of the other notable guys that are restricted free agents, it still ain't the money that he necessarily wants to continue to play basketball, at least moving into the foreseeable future with the Chicago Bulls. We've heard that number be thrown around at $30 million. And It seemed like he's standing on it. That we heard reports and we broke that news over here on Chicago on Shy Bulls podcast that the Chicago Bulls don't want to give him that money on. So now it's just seeming like both sides are just standing firm on their offers. I know that there's some type of discussion that we've had brought into this whole type of discussion or this trade negotiation per se. That hey, Jalen Suggs got himself 30 million. Emmanuel quickly got himself 30 million. Is Josh Giddey not on that level? I'll let you all decide. But if you telling me that Emmanuel quickly can get his 30, Jalen Suggs can get his 30, then seems like the more sensible thing is to give Josh Giddey his 30. And me and C Dub, we talked a lot about this and went into this very, very deep on the way and saying, hey, if you go out there and say Josh Giddey go play for this $11 million, and Josh Giddey goes out there and let's just say for the sake of discussion becomes an all-star this season with a number of guards being down this season, which is it's a tall task, but it is very, very possible that he can go out there and put on an all-star campaign, especially if you're looking at the last 20 to 25 games. So it was a damn near triple-double for Josh Giddey in those last 20 to 25 games for the Chicago Bulls. He came on strong and he was out there hoping on both ends of the floor. We looked at Josh Giddey early last season. Was like, bro, you are damn near a traffic cone. You might as well go and put on that yellow suit and just stand there and be a traffic cone. And then Josh Giddey took on the challenge that was given to him from Billy Donovan and pretty much said, look, man, yeah, I ain't gonna be elite, but I'm a damn sure be respectable around here on the defensive side. And Josh Giddey was very, very respectable. And shit, we can go ahead and have a discussion on what the play-in looked like. Josh Giddey was one of the best, if not the best player the night of the play-in, and one of the guys that really didn't have us feeling ticked off at some of the things that transpired during that play-in game. So Josh Giddey, hey, he got a lot. He should feel like he has a little leverage, but obviously with no teams out there, and when I said it, and I'm gonna say it again, with nobody out there really trying to, move in for him to say, hey, we know that your qualifying offer is 11 million. We're gonna go out there and give you 18 million. No team has came out and said that they're gonna give him anything. So the Chicago Bulls are playing their ear close to the market and trying to see what you do with this. But again, if you get this man to play on this $11 million and he goes out there and do something spectacular, now that $30 million price goes up. Price goes up. And my thing is like looking into the future. What was your end goal with this whole thing? You know what I mean? You trade Alex Caruso straight up for Josh Giddey, no draft picks included from a team that has a bevy of draft picks. So what were you thinking? Like, were you really like with some of those things that transpired before the draft? Like, yeah, we're looking at Igor Deming. Was that just things to throw smoke screens out there just to try to get Josh Giddey to bite and nudge on what I'm saying, a contract before he feel like you replace him? Was that one of your tactics? It's very, very interesting now when you look at it and you just say hindsight is 2020 and you say, hey, maybe they was out there playing around with the Igor Demon stuff to try to force Josh Giddey's hand. But at the end of the day, my man's want his $30 million. And I'm not necessarily mad at it. I want both sides to come to an agreement. Maybe, hey, you got to figure it out. But if they say we'll give you 30, I wouldn't necessarily be mad at it. Me personally, I think Josh Giddey is a relatively healthy basketball player. He's still a young man, and he has a lot of room to grow. And he has shown that once he gets his feet under him, he could be a very valuable piece for the Chicago Bulls. So I don't understand what the holdup is right now, but I hope that these guys go out there and get it done, because if you sitting up there and you not trying to go out there and come to terms simply because you have a fear that he might not live up to the deal, okay, then give him shorter years. You can go out there and give him shorter years just so you can give yourself some reinsurance. Or you can see, since you feel like you have the leverage, go 4 years and a team option after the third year. So now he has a 4-year deal, $30 million, team option to get up out of there after the third year. That's something that you can probably go out there and look into. Now, is Josh Giddey one player that's saying, I want to go out there and go for 5 million at 30? I mean, 5 years at 30 million per year. Okay, let's figure it out. Give yourself a team option after the third year. or something like that, to where you locked in, or you get yourself some, or you retain some of that leverage instead of going in and he has a player option. Let's go ahead and have a team option on our end to make sure that we're good. You know what I mean? Like, you can definitely, it doesn't have to be the exact same contract that my man's Jalen Suggs got. You could definitely be some things that you can come in and say, all right, we're going to give you this money. We're going to see if you live up to, the expectations and things like that. And then we're going to be able to move forward. And my thing is that I understand that there's some reservations for giving Josh Giddey this type of money from Bulls fans and this front office. But nobody, you can't put the stuff that you placed on Patrick Williams on Josh Giddey simply because in 1 year, Josh Giddey has showed us that he is way better than Patrick Williams, and he can. And if you would have gave Josh Giddey the 18 million, he absolutely will outplay that contract with the way that he's played up until this point. P. Will, we don't even know what he's going to be doing next season. We don't know. We just got Isaac Okoro. We just got another young man who's still going to have to grow and know as to game, and who could potentially take minutes away maybe next year. But I expect Patrick Williams to still receive decent amount of minutes this upcoming season. And is he going to fit that bill as a player coming off the bench making $18 million? It's going to be it's going to be underwhelming. Not a bit. It's going to be underwhelming, because you're going to say, all right, coming off the bench, he getting 9 points, 4 rebounds, and he shoot what? We'll just say 37% from the three. You say, okay, fine. But is that $18 million worthy? No. So I say, Chicago Bulls, it's not Josh Giddey's fault. Y'all didn't put your ear to the market and listen to offers for Patrick Williams during restricted free agency this past season. That was your fault. Now y'all want to try to use that and how the way Patrick Williams didn't live up to the first year and the expectations of the new deal. Y'all thought giving this man money was going to motivate him? What? That makes no sense. So you can't use that and try to place that on Josh Giddey. That ain't got nothing to do with him. When y'all made P. Will the offer, what y'all think he was going to say? No, I want more money. He's going to be like, hell yeah, I'm going to take this 18 million because I've been trash. What? Like, we have to be serious about this. Like, it's not trending in the right direction, and I understand it. And I understand why Josh Giddey is standing on his side and saying, like, bro, y'all, you can't be serious right now. You cannot be serious right now. I understand that there's not many teams coming and trying to make me an offer right now, but y'all traded for me with the intentions of having me here for years and years to come. Now you're not about to shortchange me because you feel like you made a bad decision with resigning somebody else. That ain't got nothing to do with me. If I'm Josh Giddey looking at it that way, give me my money. And you can't be mad at Josh Giddey for wanting his money. That's it. So we'll see what happens, man. We got another Chicago Bulls game coming up today. We'll see. We'll definitely keep y'all posted on that. C-Dub should be live calling, but we'll definitely send out and make the post if anything comes up. But y'all make sure y'all stay locked in, tuned in, and ready to continue to talk Bulls basketball. Maybe we hear of a deal coming up soon. And if we do hear a deal coming up soon, y'all know we'll be right here to break the news and break it all down and talk about what's to expect next. But thank y'all so much, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Go ahead and leave your feedback, comments, concerns down in the comment box, man. And y'all already know, make sure you always see red. And y'all know, I'm going to catch y'all on the next for sure.
Cognac. Gang.